Yes, man, we are back. Life has been super busy over the past few weeks with fights, with training camps, and we're back to somewhat a normal routine. Building a business, focused on everything behind the scenes, and back to training as well. We've got another fight lined up in November. That'll be the last fight of the year. But we're doing what we're doing best. Now, as you just seen the clip there, we had a fight in our hometown on Saturday. A huge event for me personally, and a huge event for our boxing club, and a huge event for where I am as well. Now, the reason being is because 4 or 5 years ago, I was at rock bottom. I was drinking excessively. I was taking drugs on the weekends, throughout the weeks. And there was a point in time where I took drugs every single weekend for 16 weekends in a row. Now, that's the type of person I was, and that's where my life was, and that's the identity that I was living each and every day. Now, of course, at that moment in time, I was not feeling good about myself. My self-confidence was at rock bottom. I got asked to leave school, no job, no real income. I don't know how I was getting by. But now, fast forwarding to the man I am today, it's a completely different person in terms of the place we're living from, the identity that we're walking in, and the results that we are getting. Now, again, it's more than boxing. This is nothing to do with boxing, but this is overcoming a past version of myself that was holding me back. And it gives me more of an understanding on our true potential as men. It does not matter where you start, where you come from, if you're willing to execute on your daily action steps and fucking commit to being your best and trying to be a little bit better than you were yesterday, then that compound after compound of actions will materialise into something greater and into something better. Right? But man, what I want you to understand now is eventually when you start to work on yourself relentlessly and you're taking action each and every day and you're backing yourself 120%, you will believe inside your mind the things that you're capable of as you start to gather data through your actions, through life, and you start to believe in yourself more, of course. But the world will be a little bit behind you on catching up to that belief. What I mean by that is you're going to have to be your own cheerleader. You're going to have to back yourself 120% before anyone else does. And doing so, after taking action, after getting your own results, the people around you will start to catch up and understand exactly who it is that you are. Okay, so do not get discouraged by thinking that maybe people don't believe in you or majority don't believe in you, because there will be a point in time where you will meet the right people. You'll have a fantastic fucking team who back you, who understand you, who understand the place that you're coming from, and who understand your true potential. And you'll have a solid foundation inside yourself. But man, sometimes that takes time to fucking build. But when it's there and you've built it, you're going to have so much more confidence in yourself in terms of the direction that you're going, and the results are just going to be that little bit better. But once you reach that point, you do not stop there. You do not stop there. That's the starting point, okay? Because life is continuing on. Your results can be major. Your potential is something that you cannot even see because it's that big. But you have to truly believe and understand the work that is going to be required, and the small sacrifices and the big sacrifices that you're going to have to make as a man. And again, when it comes to your results in life, we do not get free rides. And this is what boxing has showed me, that if I want to be the best, I need to put in the work. And there's no corners we can cut. There's no corners we can cut. You cannot fake anything here. You have to truly sacrifice. You have to truly work. You have to build discipline, take action, do things that you don't want to do, and push yourself through the discomfort and walk through the fire and have courage, right? And dare to be fucking great as well. And that's the reason why we will achieve results, and that's the reason that I'll continue to achieve results, because I am prepared to put it on the line. I'm prepared to risk it all for greatness. And that's the place that I'm coming from, and an understanding of my potential, of course, as well. But man, knuckle down, commit, right? Because if you're in a point right now where you're not getting results that you want, you might think you're 100 miles away from achieving any results or feeling more confident inside yourself or being that little bit better, right? But all you have to do is understand that we need short-term goals, right? But to get those short-term goals clarified, we need to have a long-term objective that we're aiming for. And chop that long-term objective down into tiny goals that are manageable, that you can focus on within the next 24 hours or within the next 7 days and within the next 30 days as well. And discard anything else outside that realm of thinking or outside of that focus there. Because we need to really bring our focus into the 24 hours that we have. Because in those 24 hours that we are going to give ourselves permission to be great or give ourselves to permission not to be great. It's in those 24 hours that we are changing our life. Each day you can give yourself a chance to be better, a chance to be more. And you do this through actions, of course, but also mentally as well. Mentally being on your own side. Mentally backing yourself, like I was speaking about at the start of the video. Mentally preparing yourself for the upcoming opportunities that come your way. Because success and results are not just going to fall in your lap. They're going to come your way after work ethic, after the discipline you've built, and after having the courage to dare. And when opportunity comes, you have to grab it with both hands and walk through the fucking fire. Right? But if we're speaking on who I am today to who I was 5 years ago, I'm not speaking about results physically. I'm speaking about the man I am mentally. A huge shift and a huge change in my belief on who I am as a person and the way that I show up to life. This has nothing to do with anyone else, right? Because as far as I'm concerned, at the point in my life, I do not care how people view me. I care mostly about how I view myself, because I know that's what truly matters and what's going to get me true results. But that identity shift, that behaviour, all the behaviour changes can happen. The habits that you're building, the man that you believe yourself to be in, the presence that you carry, and the identity that you're building. All that can truly, truly change, right? But you first have to commit to being better. Commit to the journey and understanding that in the next 5 years, you can achieve noteworthy results, right? Within the next 6 months, you can achieve huge, huge results. But we have to start getting to work now, mentally and physically, detailing the end objective, chopping it up into short-term goals, and keeping yourself accountable. If something isn't being met or a target isn't being achieved, ask yourself why. How can you adapt? How can we reflect more? How can we be more? How can we lead more? And how can we do more? So men, from the point I was in my life at rock bottom, taking drugs, drinking alcohol, being the weakest man in the room, extreme low self-worth, low self-confidence, and about to embark on a life that was going to be filled with misery and a lot of dark things, to now living in a life where I feel more peace, I'm a lot more happier, I'm the healthiest I've ever been, I'm the fittest I've ever been, and I'm fighting in my hometown for titles and building myself into a man that I can be proud of, where people respect me and conduct myself in a much more higher level and efficient level. Right? That's the transformation there. That's what life's all about. But once we get to that point where we make the changes we want to make, we do not stop there. We look for the next level up. But it's about building that foundation and believing in who you are as a man and as an individual and representing yourself to the highest level. That's what it's all about.